Today's interview is with my homeboy, Sean Solo Jemison. I met Sean in school back in 1984. He led our football team to an undefeated season and a championship win. In college, he started getting serious about music, became a highly sought after producer, and even has a Grammy nomination. Sean Solo Jemison, man, thank you so much. So much
What's
for
up?
being
What's
here.
up? My guy Mike D, man. Y'all don't know. That's my guy from the beginning, 1984.
Back in
Appreciate it.
84, man. Let's get right into it. Growing up, what musicians, songs, artists do you think influenced you a lot?
Man, man, it's a wide variety of music that influenced me, man. New Edition, Michael Jackson, Prince, Isley Brothers, Madonna, Journey, Police, Cure. I mean, I grew up on the pop and old school, so that's the type of stuff that influenced me.
All of those, man. That's all in my favorites too, man. Favorite list.
You know, I went to New Edition concert. I went to all Michael Jackson's concerts. Just for
Oh
enjoy.
man.
Dude, I've been to every concert like Michael had. It was crazy because like my grandmother, she was a really good sewer, and she would make me and my little cousins. We would have the whole outfit when we go to the Jackson concert. We had the gloves, we have jackets, everything that she made for us. We used to think,
Oh man, that's
yeah,
awesome, man.
yeah, we used to think we were in the group, man. I swear to
Right,
God,
right. I
we
bet,
be
man.
on the
Especially if you
elevator.
had the full
Oh man.
gear and everything,
Yeah,
man.
we had sequins on our gloves and everything, dude. Like we were full blown Michael Jackson fans. And then New Edition, when they came along afterwards, it was like, oh, I'm in New Edition. I used to tell people I was in the group.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? I remember going seeing them at World.
Back there behind Grease Lightning or something.
Yeah,
That one.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
They had the little con. I remember they had this castle on stage, and they came out from this castle. And I was like, oh man, this is it. You know, seeing everybody scream, and you know, all that was very important in development of subconsciously of what I wanted, you know, eventually become. Because
Right.
at that time, I didn't really think I was going to be doing that.
On the glove tip, let me tell you, man, my grandma wasn't sewing nothing for me, bro. So I had like a white garden glove that I poured some glue on and some glitter,
You
man.
know?
I think all the fingers stuck together, so it kind of looked it was whack, man.
Yeah, that's all right though. That's all
But I
right.
was trying, man. I was
Yes,
trying.
sir.
Early on, your pops gave you a keyboard, man, and that was kind of instrumental as a catalyst to getting you going in music, man. Tell me a little bit about that.
My pops, man, one day just took me to the music store. I don't know what prompted it. He bought me a keyboard for Christmas, like little ones, a long time ago. Never took any lessons, but I started developing a love for the way the sounds would blend together progressively. I guess he saw my interest in playing it, and eventually bought a higher caliber keyboard. That keyboard actually became one of the keyboards that I used later on. Something about the synthesizers and the sounds of that keyboard that really sparked my interest in making songs, and actually that definitely was instrumental of my development of learning how to, you know, play music or whatever.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. And to have one like that for a long time that you liked and were able to use, man, that's really cool, man. Were there any music producers that you looked up to, when you first started kind of getting into music? Were there some that you kind of looked up to?
Absolutely. Definitely, you know, Dre and DJ Quick were amongst my favorites starting off. Like I didn't know the Houston producers like that because I was really just starting. I was kind of like in between, you know, East Coast and West Coast. You know, I like Pete Rock, I like DJ Premier, I like, you know, people like that. I was
Sure,
influenced by both sounds.
for sure. Did you have any mentor when you first started in music at all?
None, man. That's
Wow.
one of the parts that I, you know, kind of regret because I took a lot of L's in the beginning. Like I had a lot of success right off the bat, and I did not know the business. Having a mentor would have definitely helped. So I basically just had to, you know, bump my head until I figured it out.
Man, wow. That kind of goes into my next question. What kind of challenges did you face coming up and getting into music?
Of course, there was a lot of challenges at the start. I wasn't aware of them though, so it was like I was young. You know what I'm saying? I was actually in college when my first song like hit the radio. I'm getting hits about these songs on the radio. I'm not knowing and understanding the publishing part of the business. I'm just so excited about getting so much cash money. So
Sure.
I'm not thinking about the long term money. So I'm getting
Right.
cash money, and people are interested in purchasing beats from everywhere all of a sudden. And I'm like, whoa, I'm caught up in making beats and making cash money at the time. I was making a lot of cash money. I'm
Right.
doing
What young person's not going to be,
right,
man, you looking at that right there. You're not thinking about down the line. Right, right,
right,
right.
right, right, right. It's all
Sure.
good. I was able to go back later on and correct a lot of things. Everything happens for a
That
reason.
was right. And that's one thing that you to figure out
Right.
along the way. Got you. Got you. I remember watching one interview that E.S.G did where he said when he first met you, man, he said, man, Sean had on some baggy jeans and some Timberlands. He was looking like the Fushnikins, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was me, man. Kind of funny you say that because that's really how the name Solo came out. Like they named me that because I was from Texas. I was in Louisiana, and I'm walking around with backpack, baggy jeans, and nobody was rocking it like me. So they started calling me Solo in Louisiana because of that.
Hey man, that's awesome, man. To have your own style or doing your own thing
Right.
somewhere where it's where everybody else is doing something different. That's really cool, man. That really is. Did you ever face any type of burnout? Fall into like artistic block along the
Yeah,
way?
man. Yeah. I think every producer, every artist has that at some point. It didn't happen to me till later on in my career. I had a long run of consistency because it went from started with E.S.G, then it went to D.E.A, and
Hmm.
then from D.E.A went to Keke, and then went to Pat, and then went to Hawk, and then from there on it was just like that period was like first 7 to 10 years of my
That's a
career.
long, right, right.
Yeah, and that's not even mentioning all the other people who were hitting me along the way. You had Youngster, you had Grace, you had Wood, you had Mike D. That period was so hot where they all wanted music. I had reached a point where the music was changing. Music goes in circles, so your stuff will eventually come back around. It might not be the same, but it'll be some aspect of the sound or whatever.
Hmm.
Real music is always going to keep coming around. I hit a little spot where I didn't want to like adjust. Equipment goes from all hardware to software, and I was being stubborn of switching over. And that played a part in me in my creation because with software, there's really no limits of what you can get. Hardware, you got to be a great musician to get more and more out of your equipment. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Yeah, because
But with,
you're doing it, right?
yeah,
I mean,
it's you.
it's
It's
right. It's
all
your
you.
talent and your stuff, right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah. So, but with software, I was being stubborn to learn it
Mhm.
at the time, and then it's like it's different than it is now because like the cash money was like, I'm gonna get inspired if they're dropping, come,
Yeah,
yeah,
you hustling, man. I'm trying to get
yeah,
some
yeah. I'm trying to
fazools and
get it.
stuff, man. Right?
Yeah, I'm trying to get it, man.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I hit a little spot, and then I got a little rejuvenation when Drake came. So yeah,
Yeah, I bet that'll do it. Well, that's what I was going to ask you. How did that come about?
actually emailed E.S.G. His people reached out and said they were interested in using the swinging and banging beat. And he called me and he was like, man, you ain't gonna believe this or whatever. Like, man, Drake want to use swinging and banging. I said, yeah. He said, man, I got the song. They had sent him the rough draft for the song. And we heard it, like, he played it for me. He said, man, wait, Lil Wayne was on it. I'm like, what the? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Oh,
man, man,
when it
that's
came on, I hear my little part, the little wave part. And actually, the funny part is the wave part of the swing and banging comes from that keyboard that I was talking about from my
right,
dad, the
right.
second one.
The
You know what I'm saying?
second one,
I
right?
played that on that Roland James 3 beat. And that's original Roland sound. That's not software or anything. That's
Yeah,
yeah.
and the
So yeah,
original that was just nuts anyway, man. The original swinging. Oh, come on, man.
yeah, it's
That's
crazy.
oh man,
And we were blessed from that, man. And
so
still
huge.
getting blessed about that song. That's one of the ones that is gonna pay for a while.
That's awesome, man. Future money and everything else, man. That's so wonderful. How did you end up doing anything with Screw?
Well, E.S.G was, he was in college with me. I had my music set up, but I didn't really know everything that was going on, like with the streets. But he would go back and forth to Houston. Somebody brought him over to Screw House, and Screw loved his flow. So then he introduced me to Screw, and then Screw fell in love with the sound. Like he loved my style of music. I used to sample a lot back then. I still do now,
Hmm.
but I was a sampler, but he loved it's not just about sampling, it's about the ones you do. And
Right.
he loved my style. And he used to always tell me, your style is going to be the one that lasts forever. I remember him telling me that.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
That's
So,
huge, man. I mean,
yeah,
hearing that, you know what I mean, and thinking about it now, man, how big
right.
is that, bro?
He was on to something.
As far as projects with Screw, man, what do you think? What is your favorite thing that you are tied to with DJ Screw?
When he chopped up swinging and banging, that was probably the biggest of all. What it did for the culture down here when that song became Scrooge, I would say that would be the launching pad for the whole Screwed Up clique. The craving and the hunger for that style was elevated at that moment. I did the beat to Still Pimpin' Pins with Keke. He rapped on that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
A lot of people didn't know that. They thought he was a producer. He was getting into doing beats, but when they realized that that was my track, and then Screw rapped on it,
rapped on it,
which was
right?
one of the few ones he rapped on. Those two are big songs. Those two are the ones that they still perform, and they can't do shows without doing those two songs.
That's right, man, for sure. Are there any experiences as a producer that stood out to you while working with any other artists?
I've worked with so many artists. Man, I had some crazy shit go on. Like even
Come on, man, give me one good story, man.
So we are being recruited by Rap-A-Lot, right? Heavy. This is when E.S.G got out of jail. We're at my house in Third Ward. That's where all the shit happened at, which happened to be right next door to my parents. We're in my crib and we're getting ready to go to Louisiana for a show. So I think somebody was outside and came in like, man, tour bus just pulled up. Go outside, Rap-A-Lot, tour bus outside our door. My door. Man, hey man, y'all get on the bus. We're gonna take y'all to Louisiana. I'm looking at E. He is, he's a big silly dude. It's like he looking at me. He's shaking his head like, and I'm looking at him to get direction. I said, "You gonna tell him?" But he was like, "Nah, we gonna ride down there ourselves." And they're like, "Nah, yeah, we want y'all to get on the bus. We gonna take y'all. You want y'all to, be comfortable. Y'all don't have to drive down." First of all, we don't even know how they knew we was going to Louisiana, how anything. So it's basically, we knew if we got on that bus, we was gonna either sign or we was gonna get dropped off somewhere.
Somebody at the bio or something, right?
Yeah, yeah. So he talked his way out of that. We didn't get on that bus, man. They pulled they pull that bus off, man. But I mean, I've had
That's
several.
wild.
Yeah, I had several things happen at my house with Rap Loud or with, KK from D.E.A got shot at my house, man. And
What?
yeah, man, it's all
Back
kinds of
in the
stuff.
day?
Yeah, back in the day. Yeah,
Right.
man,
Okay. He just got out a few years ago, right?
probably about six years
But
now.
like 6 years or so. Yeah,
But
yeah, something like that. Right.
after he got shot, when he went to the hospital, he got picked up out of the hospital and went to jail. Yeah,
Wow. Dang,
yeah,
man.
it was, man, that time was weird, man. And actually, that's the reason why Keke went to jam down because some shady shit that went on. Like they were trying to get Keke when he did 3 in the Morning song. So everybody wanted Keke because he was hot in the streets, real hot. People that was around him, like D.E.A, KK, and them they taking care of him on one side. The other guys in the streets, a guy named Robert, trying to give him money. The two guys met up at my house, KK and the other guy, because Rob was part of the E.S.G crew. I'm on the phone with E.S.G. E.S.G's in jail. They start fighting at my house. Mike D's there. Actually, they jumped on the dude. The dude went to the car and came back and hit him right in my damn driveway.
Damn.
Yeah,
Oh man.
still standing there. I'm so green. I'm standing there
It
on
was
the
wild in
phone.
the streets at solos, man.
Yeah. Oh man, dude. You remember when they had City Under Siege?
Yeah, yeah,
The show?
yeah.
They came to my house after that, man. There was
Come on, man.
rappers and all this stuff. Like, yeah, man, that shit happened in my house. That's why the E.S.G album was called City Under Siege.
Yeah, yeah,
That
man. I
he
didn't
went
even
through
think.
that. I
Damn,
mean,
man.
you wouldn't believe the old nerdy solo that went through a lot of shit.
Man, you the man. So you're on the phone with ESG,
Yeah, I'm on
man.
the phone. He hear everything. When I finally got out of the La La Land, I dropped the phone. And he ended up calling Fat Pat and everybody on the thing, and they got over to my house. I don't even know how all that happened. I actually ended up putting Mike D in my mom's house because Rob was looking for him. Remember, I tell him, "Hey, Rob, that's my parents' house right there." He went, got in his car, and he drove off.
Oh,
That's how crazy I was. I wasn't thinking about, man, he could get me. I'm standing
yeah.
out there like,
You think, hey, they not about to be
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Thank God he didn't blow me away.
Well, you know what? Okay, so my next question was going to be about the picture that you posted, man, from your backyard from over 25 years ago with all
Yeah,
them cats in there, man.
I mean, Screw in the picture, C Note, Willing, E.S.G, Pokey, a Young Flip is on
Young
that picture.
Flip, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Third Head is in that picture. Hawk in the picture. I think so.
I think
Yeah,
so,
Hawk in
man.
the picture too. Yeah. I'm not in the picture because I was inside mixing the show tape. We were about to go to some show, and there was the whole clique. That used to happen a lot. They meet up in my crib because the music was there. The older and older we get, the more legendary that picture is, man.
It's gold, man. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's it right there.
it really is, man. We lost so many legendary rappers from Houston, man. Two of them, Fat Pat, Big Hawk.
Yeah, man, both of them, hella talented, super good guys, jokesters. You know what I'm saying?
Is
Like
that right?
Hawk is a Madden player. We used to sit around, play the game, and then make a song. Pat was ridiculous, man, because he could sing. In my opinion, I think he could have been bigger than Biggie because he was fly for the South. Like he was a fly dude,
Mm-hmm.
cool, and
Right,
had
right.
had charisma with his stuff, just like it's like Biggie. You know what I'm saying?
Both of them, man. It's just way too soon, man. Sad to see. This one's gonna be about mine and my wife's favorite album, man. Don't mess with Texas, man.
Yes, sir.
What was the inspiration of your work behind it?
Double D had already produced like half of the record,
Uh huh.
and Keke, we had worked together from D.E.A. I had already did Heart of a Hustler, Screwed for Life, and seven songs on that D.E.A. album. And he gave me a call one day. He told Jam Down that he wanted me to finish the record. Man, we did those songs so fast. He had money waiting on him to finish the record. Shit, we sat in that beat and we bounced them things out. Like that beat, Pimp the Pen, if you listen to it close, it's that Michael Jackson.
Is
And I just
is that what it? There you
yeah,
go.
that was
Okay.
the inspiration of it. If you listen to it slower, it da da don't don't da don't. It's kind of the same rhythm.
Man, now, you know what? Now that you say that, I never thought that in my whole life because I'm not that
Yeah,
deep, man. That I just
yeah,
listen to it and I'm just like, damn. And
yeah,
wow, man, now that you say that, I can hear it in my
yeah.
head even.
I had my guitar man just play some riffs on it. It was so basic, but it was the banging. You know what I'm saying? It was perfect
Yeah.
for it. Don't you know? I was in my R&B moods. It's going down. That was just me being raw. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
All those are like, feeling good. Let's bounce him out. He was just going. I mean, he was so quick and good at that shit. You know what I'm saying?
I put some music in my wife's Suburban, and
Uh,
so we were at home or something. I could hear "Still Pimping Pins," man. As soon as I heard it coming, mom's home. You know what I'm saying? We could hear it come because that was her number one. It just sounds so good, man.
oh yeah,
With
yeah,
good bass and everything,
yeah.
man. It's just
Oh, it's thumping.
it
It's
is,
thumping.
man. Timeless, man. It's just
Yeah.
timeless, man.
Back when there's CDs and cassettes, if you sell 100,000 of those independently, you're making hellified noise because that's a lot of money. And he sold well over that amount independently. So, that sparked him to get his deal, his first deal after that record.
How does it feel when you hear something that you worked on, being played at a concert, a rodeo, or somewhere, big like that?
Those reactions and those people telling me, the music helped them through situations or whatever. That's what drives me to continue to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like that's it. That's everything. That's what you do this for, man. Seeing the pictures of events where I'm not there and they play my song and everybody is rocking to it from the time the first note drops. I mean that's everything to me.
What kind of impact do you hope your music will have on people?
Whatever emotion they're going through, I just hope it makes them feel better. That's it. You know
That
what I'm
way,
saying?
man.
I like making feel good music, man. I try my best not to make any dark sounding music. Of course, if I'm in that mood, it might come out, but I just want
That's
people to feel
awesome
good.
thing.
Yeah,
And imagine how many people when you got that much music out there, man. I mean, I think you're doing that, bro. So you mission accomplished on that one, man.
Hope
It's
so,
got to
man.
be. How has your style evolved over the years?
Think that my style, my original style, I'm gonna do what I like. I think that still remains. But of course, like the drum patterns start to change a little bit. You know, different cadences or different tempos change. Now I'm a little faster because I want to rock a little bit with it. You know, I don't want to just slow ride and bang. I want to have a little groove. You know what I'm saying? So
Where do you find creative inspiration when you're making new music?
I say it's just within, man. I listen to old stuff all the time. So I hear something that I know I can redo or turn into something. Boom, I come right home and bounce it out, man.
Get on it. Oh, that's cool. You ever work in any other genres of music?
I don't want to just put my stuff into a category where it's going to be this.
Right, right.
I want to try to change that category, insert something a little different to it. Like
Sure.
right now, I'm working on a song for my record. It's got Cupid on it. Cupid from Cupid Shuffle or Do
Yeah,
What
yeah,
You
yeah,
Do.
yeah.
He got major, line dance hits. He
hmm
got a song he's doing right now with Youngster on my record. So, I don't want that to be say, hey, this is gonna be a line dance song, or this is gonna be let's just say this is music. Let's see where it goes. You know what
It's
I'm saying?
good
So that
music. Right,
yeah,
right. Ah,
yeah,
that's
so
cool.
let's see where it goes.
That's a very good way to look at it. This question is from a homeboy. I know this dude from back in the day from the Bulls, man. OG Big Troy. He rapped on some of Screw stuff. He wanted me to ask you, what Houston artist do you want to work with the most? Maybe one that you hadn't worked with.
I mean, Travis Scott. Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, I wouldn't mind working with Travis Scott. I wouldn't mind working with everybody. It's not just one person. The talent pool in Houston is so big. It's hard to say. It could be an artist that I don't even know their name, and people come to me and they're afraid to ask what my cost is. But I work with a lot of different budgets because if I see that there's potential there, I'm not going to be that guy that's going to miss that boat because I want to outcharge the market. And I
Gotcha.
just want to work with people who are hungry.
Man, I definitely got to get you in contact with Big Troy because he
Yeah,
wants to
tell them
he
how
wants to
them.
do something for sure with you, man.
Let's go. Let's get it.
When I worked at a boxing gym, I trained fighters and stuff, traveling to fights and to stuff like that. I enjoyed all that part of it, right? I enjoyed training people. I enjoyed sparring when I had to, anything like that. But my least favorite part of boxing was the politics and the cutthroat business part of it. You know what I'm saying? Is there anything in the music industry that is like that to you?
It's absolutely like that. I mean,
Did I just describe the same thing? Is that just
yeah.
everywhere?
Only difference for me is, man, I'm at a point in my career where I really don't involve myself and I don't have to deal with it that much because I'm more of an independent contractor. And
Gotcha.
you hire me for my services. Either you don't pay for them or you're not. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's
It's
simple as that.
simple. On the business side of music, what is the biggest thing you wish you could go back and tell young Solo?
Oh man, it's the publishing. Make sure you get your points up front. Get all that situated before you do a record because any record could go. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you at the keyboard and you make a song or at the studio, make sure your business is in writing before you leave that studio. If you don't, you could be chasing and you could chase for a long time. You might not have the money to fight it. You know what I'm
To
saying?
go after the money that you
Yeah.
already owed anyway.
Exactly. You know how the court system is. You can keep
Uh,
on extending it, and then you don't have the money to fight it. And you got to look for a lawyer who wants to help you and get their money on the back end. So,
Contingency wise, right, right.
yeah,
And that's tough. And by the time you do that anyway, the amount you collect may be the amount the lawyer's getting. So,
yeah, they might cut a deal under the table or anything. You never know. So,
right, man. You've accomplished so much over the years, man. Do you have any current goals right now?
big goals, man. I want to get more into scoring for film. There's a lot of independent filmmakers in Houston. I'm not going to just involve myself in it with anybody who's got a camera shooting a movie, but ones that I see the potential or I see that they have the budget
hmm
and they are really, doing it right. There's video gaming, there's soundtracks, and also we're still working on my daughter's project, Clever
Mm,
Clover, with the
that's so cool,
animation.
man.
I'm just letting her grow up because a little bit more because I was gonna get her voiceover from someone else, but now she's 6 now. I'll be 7 soon, and I feel like she'll be able to do her own parts.
Yeah,
So
man.
that's what we're getting at.
What a cool project, man.
Yeah,
That is
yeah.
really cool, man. What kind of projects are you currently working on that you can talk about?
There's an artist named Larry June in the Bay Area, really hot. I got 3 songs on his upcoming record. I did a song with Jadakiss. Of course, I got my project, Waterworld 2, coming out. Just did something with Archie Lee, J.A.W.K, all the Houston guys still hot. Propane, I got something with him. Paul Wall, Flip, Killer
Man,
Collie, E.S.G. Project with J-Dog and Pokey, the EP. I got a song on there called Collection Plate, doing really well.
mm-hmm.
Zero, of course, man, me and Zero always locked in. And my song on his
Yeah,
album, I got 2 songs on there, but Man Hold Up, probably the most streamed song on the album. Just on YouTube, it's almost on 1 million. Just a song.
just a song. Is he gonna do a video for it?
Yeah, he said he's just waiting. He's just promoting the other ones because that was doing well by itself.
Yeah, yeah,
He's got another record that I got songs on. I don't know if he's gonna release it, but it's like an answer to all the drama that went on with him and old buddy.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
we got a full album about that. So,
Is that right, man? A whole album on it?
oh yeah, a whole
Oh
album.
man,
Yeah, it's pretty dangerous. Just working, man. It's get calls
staying
every day.
busy, huh? Yeah,
Yeah,
man. Hey, that's a lot. That's a
yeah,
lot. Like I
yeah.
said, man, I don't see how you do all the stuff you do. Are there any shout outs, any people you want to thank, from the past or whatever that you want to give before we end this, man?
I thank God for my family, my wife, and my children for being patient with me.
That's awesome, man.
They're the ones that allow me to move around and do what I do.
Thank you so much, man, for taking the
My
time to do it. It means a ton to me, man. It really does. I'm honored and I really appreciate it, man. Thank you so
no
much, Sean.
doubt, man. Man, I
All
do
right.
that for you. You my guy, man. Appreciate you, Mike.
Yeah, thank you, man.